विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विधाता, विद्यावारिधि बुद्धि विधाता, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, शंकर सुवन भवानी के नंदन, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक, सिद्धि सदन गजवदन विनायक, कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबलायक, कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबलायक, गाइए गणपति जगवंदन, शंकर सुवन भवानी के नंदन, गाइए गणपति
May Vigneshwara, the destroyer of obstacles, who removes all hurdles and crowns all endeavors with success, bless our performance now. How indeed can one hope to describe his glory in our poor disabled words? An elephant's head on a human body, a broken tusk and a cracked belly. Whichever way you look at him, he seems to be the embodiment of imperfection, of incompleteness. How indeed can one fathom the mystery that this very Vakratunda Mahakai, with his crooked face and distorted body, is the Lord and Master of success and perfection? Could it be that this image of purity and holiness, this Mangalamurti, intends to signify by his very appearance that the completeness of God is something no poor mortal can comprehend? Be that as it may, it is not for us to understand this mystery or try to unravel it, nor is it within our powers to do so. Our duty is merely to pay homage to the elephant-headed God and get on with our play. Whose fame and empire have already reached the ends of 8 directions. 2 youths who dwell in the city are our heroes. One is Devdutt, comely in appearance, fair in color, unrivaled in intelligence. Devdutt is the only son of Reverend Brahmin Vidyasagar. Having felled the mightiest pundits of the kingdom in debates on logic and love, having blinded the greatest poets of the world with his poetry and wit, Devdutt is, as it were, the apple of every eye in Dharampur. The other youth is Kapil. He is the only son of ironsmith Lohit, who is to the king's armory as an axle to the chariot wheel. He is dark and plain to look at, but in deeds which require drive and daring, in dancing, in strength and in physical skills, he has no equal. The world wonders at their friendship. The world sees these 2 young men wandering down the streets of Dharampur and remembers Love and Kush, Ram and Lakshman, Krishna and Balram. 2 friends there were, one
Madam!
Who could that be? Creating the disturbance at the very outset of But they're never alert when someone is in trouble. Now tell me, what's the matter?
Oh my heart, it's going to burst.
Calm down, calm down. There's nothing to be afraid of here. Now tell me everything. Quietly, slowly.
I was on my way here. I was already late. Didn't want to annoy you. So I was hurrying down. When?
Yes, you were hurrying down. Then?
Oh, I'm shivering. On the way, you see, I had drank a lot of water. My stomach was full. So to relieve myself,
Watch what you are saying. Remember, you're on stage.
I didn't do anything. Only wanted to. Just ran by the roadside and was about to pull my dhoti when a voice, a deep, thick voice. It said, "Hey, you there! Don't you know you are not supposed to come here? Nuisance on the main road."
Quite right too. You should have known that much.
I half got up and look around. Not a man inside. So I was about to sit down again when the same voice said, "You irresponsible fellow! Can't you understand? You are not supposed to come in. Nuisance on the main road." I look up and right there in front of me, across the fence,
Who was there?
a horse.
What?
A horse, and it was talking.
What did you have to drink this morning?
Nothing, Baba ma'am. Sir, nothing. I haven't been near a toddy shop for a whole week. I didn't even have milk today.
Perhaps your liver is sensitive to water then.
Please believe me, ma'am. I saw it clearly. It was a horse and it was talking.
It's no use continuing this nonsense. So, you saw a talking horse. Good. Now go and get made up.
Made up? I'll fall to your feet. I can't.
Cannot.
Madam, how can I hold sword with these trembling hands? How can I fight?
Well then, there's only one solution left. You go back.
Back?
Back to that fence, have another look, and make sure for yourself that whoever was talking, it couldn't have been that horse.
I can't.
Nut,
Must I?
it's an order.
Madam.
Two friends, they were one mind, one heart. Are you still here? Poor boy. God alone knows what he saw and what he took it to be. There's truth for you, pure illusion. Two friends, they were one mind, one heart.
It's coming! It's coming! It's coming!
What?
It's coming! It's coming! It's coming!
What's coming?
Him! He's coming!
Him? It? What's coming? Whatever or whoever it is, the actor has obviously been frightened by its sight. If even a hardened actor like him can get frightened, it's more than likely that our general audience may get frightened too. It's not proper to let such a sight work on stage unchallenged. Hold up the entry curtains. Who's there? How strange. It looks as though the terror which frightened our actor is itself now frightened. Someone sobbing behind the curtains. Lower the curtains. A horse? No, it can't be. Who are you? Come here. First you go around scaring people, and then you have the cheek to disturb our show with your clowning. Have you no sense of proportion? Enough of this nonsense now. Take it off. I say, take off this stupid mask. You won't. Then I'll have to do it myself. Nut, my dear actor, why are you standing there? Can't you see you were taken in by a silly mask? Come here, let me take it off now. Nut, this isn't a mask. It's his real head. minutes ago that there was a man with a horse's head, I would have laughed out in his face. Who are you? Wait. That's a green room there. Bad enough that you frightened this actor. We have a show to perform today. Who are you? What brought you to this? Was it a curse of some rishi? Or was it that you desecrated a punya sthan, a holy place of pilgrimage? Or could it be that you insulted a pati prata dedicated to the service of her husband? Or could it
Hey! What do you mean, madam? Do you think just because you know the Puranas, you can go about showering your Sanskrit on everyone inside? What temple did I disagree? Which woman did I insult? What?
Don't get annoyed.
What else? What rishi? What saint? Who have I wronged? Let anyone come forward and say that I have done him any wrong. No, I haven't yet.
Don't get annoyed. What's your grief? Tell us. You are not alone here. I am here. The musicians are here. And there is a large-hearted audience. It may be that they fall asleep during the play's
What can anyone do? It's my fate.
What is your name?
Havadan.
How did you get this horse's head?
I was born with it.
Then why did you stop us when we tried to take it off? Why did you put up with all our torture?
All my life, I've been trying to get rid of this head. I thought you, with all your goodness and punya, might just be able to take it off.
Poor boy. But Havadan, what can anyone do about a head once born with? Who knows what errors committed in the last birth are responsible?
It has got nothing to do with my last birth. It is this birth which I cannot shake off.
Tell us what happened. Don't feel ashamed.
Ashamed? Why should I feel ashamed?
I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. I should have said child.
Well, it's a very long story.
Carry on.
My mother, she was the princess of Karnataka, and she was a very beautiful girl. When she came of age, her father thought that she should choose her own husband. So, princes from every kingdom of the world were invited, and they all came from China, from Persia, from Africa. But she didn't like any one of them. The last one to come was the Prince of Araby. My mother took one look at this handsome prince riding on his great white stallion, and she fainted.
Huh?
Yes, her father thought that this was the man. All arrangements for her wedding were made. And when she woke up, do you know what she said?
What?
She said she would only marry the Prince of Araby. Burst a blood vessel.
Naturally.
No one could dissuade her. So, she was ultimately married off to the stallion. And she lived with him for 15 long years. And one fine morning she wakes up and finds no horse. On its place stood a beautiful celestial being, a Gandharva. Apparently, this celestial being had been cursed by Lord Kuwait for some act of misbehavior. And 15 years of human love had made him turn back into his original self.
I must admit, several such cases are on record.
So, released from his curse, he asked my mother to accompany her to his heavenly abode. But my mother refused. She said she would only come if he became a horse again. So, my father cursed her.
No.
She cursed her to be a horse herself. My mother became a horse and ran away happily. My father, he went back to his heavenly abode. And only I, a child of their marriage, I was left behind.
It's a sad story.
Very sad. What should I do now, Bhagavad madam? How can I get rid of this head?
हेलो हाँ जी
Havadan, what's written on our foreheads
अरे इसमें थोड़ा
cannot
भैया
be altered.
प्रोग्राम खींच रहे हैं
But
थोड़ी देर बाद
what
बात
a
करेंगे।
forehead! want a forehead. If it was a forehead like yours, I would have accepted anything. But this, I tried to accept my fate. My personal life has naturally been blameless. So I started taking interest in the social life of the nation. Civics, politics, patriotism, Indianization, nationalism, the social pattern of the society. But where is my society? But madam, you must help me to become a complete man.
Banaras.
Huh?
If you go to Banaras and make a vow in front of the god there,
I've tried that. It didn't work.
Rameshwar?
Banaras, Rameshwar, Haridwar, Gaya, Kedarnath, Kashi. Not only those, but the Dargah of Yusuf Baba and the grotto of our Virgin Mary. I've tried them all. Magicians, mendicants, Maharishis, fakirs, sadhus, saints, sadhus with long hair, sadhus with short hair, sadhus with you all together. I've tried them all, hanging, rotating, gyrating, singing, on the air, underwater, under the ground. I've tried them all. And what did I get out of all that? Everywhere I went, I had to cover my head with a veil. And I gradually started going bald. Bhagwan madam, I hate this head. But I just can't help being fond of this lovely long mane. So I had to give a miss to Sirupati.
come to think of it, Heaven, why don't you try the Kali of Mount Chitrakoot?
Why not?
It's a temple on the top of Mount Chitrakoot. The goddess there is famous for being ever alert to the call of devotees. Thousands used to flock to her temple once. No one goes now though.
But why?
She used to give anything anyone asked for. As people became aware of this, they stopped going.
Fools, I must say.
Why don't you try her?
I'll start at once.
Good. But I don't think you should go alone. It's a wild road. You have to ask a lot of people, which won't be easy for you. So, you better go with him.
Me?
Yes. Rather you can make up for having insulted him.
But Bhagwan madam, may I point out that his roadside manners?
There. He's insulting me now. Let him find his own way. What do I care?
Now, don't let's start fighting now. Don't worry. There's no highway, only a car track. And you have no reason to feel insulted. Actually, you should admire him. Even in his dire need, he didn't lose his civic sense. Be off now.
Now come, my friend. I won't bother you anymore. I'm most grateful.
May you become successful in your search for completeness. Each one to his own fate. Each one to his own desires. Each one to his own black. Let us now turn to our story. Two friends there were, one night, one heart. They saw a girl and they lost themselves. Two friends there were, one mind, one heart. They saw a girl and they lost themselves, but they could not understand the song she sang. Why should love carry the sand of a single body, when the stem is drunk with nectar, honey, and an old-eyed lantana? And why should flowers close their eyes and love a single bee? And love a single bee.
was such fun.
Some work.
Really, you should have come. The wrestler from Gandhara, he is one of India's greatest, you know. He came. Nand and I were wrestling when he arrived. He watched us. When I caught Nand in a crocodile hold, he first burst into applause. Said, then what?
I mean, what did Nand do?
Nand played the flute.
No, I mean, you were saying something about the wrestler from Gandhara. Weren't you?
Well, he wrestled with me for a few minutes, patted me on the back and said, "You'll go far."
That's nice.
Yes, it is. So, who's it this time?
What do you mean?
I mean, who is it this time?
What do you mean?
I mean, who is the girl?
How did you guess?
My dear friend, I have seen you fall in love 15 times in the last 2 years. How could I not guess?
Kapil, if you've come to make fun of me,
I am not making fun of you. Every time, you have been the first to tell me about it. Why so shy this time?
how can you even talk of them in the same breath as her? Before her, they are
As stars before the moon, as the glowworms before the dawn. Yes, and that has been so 15 times too.
Why don't you go home? You are becoming a bore.
Don't get annoyed.
What else should I say? You call yourself my friend, but you haven't understood me at all.
And have you understood me? No, you haven't. Otherwise, you wouldn't get angry like this. Don't you know I would do anything for you? Jump into a well or walk into fire. Even my parents aren't as close to me as you are. I would leave them this minute if you would ask me to.
Don't start on that now. You have said it 50 times already.
And I will say it again. If it hadn't been for you, I would have been no better than that ox in our yard. You showed me that there were such things as poetry and literature. You taught me.
Why don't you go home? All what I wanted was to be by myself all day, alone. And you had to come and start a chatter. What do you know about poetry and literature? Go back to your Smriti, that's where you belong.
Do you really want me to go?
Yes.
All right, if that's what you want.
Please come and sit down. And don't speak. You are a pest. How can I describe her, Kapil? Full of melodies. Her face is a white lotus.
These are the magic lake. Her arms are lotus creepers. Her breasts are golden urns. And her waist. Why?
I deceived myself that I understood poetry. But I didn't. I understood nothing. The Shyam Naika, born of Kalidas magic, as Vatsan had dreamt her. In a single appearance, she had become my true and poetry of love. If she would ever ascend to beginning my disciple love itself.
This is new.
If only she would consent to be my muse, I could outshine Kalidas. I had always wanted to do that. But I thought it was impossible. Only now I see it isn't impossible at all.
Then go ahead, write.
But how can I write without her in front of me? How can I concentrate when my whole being is thinking of her, craving for her?
What's her name? Will you at least tell me that?
Her name? She has no name.
And what do her parents call her?
What's the use? She isn't meant for the likes of me.
You don't really believe that, do you? With all your qualities, achievements, looks, family, grace.
Don't console me with praise.
I'm not praising you. You know it very well that every parent of every girl in the city is only waiting to catch you.
No, please. I know that girl is beyond my wildest imaginations. But still I can't help wanting her. I can't help it. Kapil, I swear, with you as my witness, I swear, if I'll ever get her as my wife, I'll sacrifice my 2 arms to Goddess Kali. I'll sacrifice my head to Lord Rudra.
This is a serious situation. It does look as though this 16th girl has really caught our Devdat in her net. Otherwise, reason the type to talk with such violence.
I mean it. What's the use of this hand and this head if I'm not to have her? My poetry won't live without her. The Shakuntalam will never be excelled. How can I explain this to her? I have no bee to show the way, no cloud for messenger. Now the only future I have is to stand and do penance in Pavan.
Pavan Vitri? Why there?
She lives in that street.
How did you know?
I saw her in the market yesterday evening, and I couldn't remove my eyes from her and followed her.
What must people have thought?
She went into a house in Pavan. I waited outside all evening, but she didn't come out.
Tell me, what sort of a house was it?
I didn't remember.
What color?
I can't tell.
How many stories?
I didn't notice.
Didn't notice anything about the house?
The door frame of that house had an engraving of a two-headed bird at the top. I only saw that. She lifted her hand to knock the door, and it touched the bird. For a minute, the bird came alive.
Then why didn't you tell me before? You've been wasting all this precious time.
I don't understand.
My dear friend, your cloud messenger, your bee, your pigeon is standing right in front of you and you don't even know it. You wait here, I'll go find out her house, her name,
Kapil!
and I'll be back in a few minutes.
I won't ever forget this, Kapil!
Shut up and forget all about your arms and head. This job doesn't need either Rudra or Kali. I'm quite enough. So you wait here and I'll come back.
Kapil! Kapil! He's gone. How fortunate I am to have a friend like him. Pure gold. But should I have trusted this to him? He means so well. He's a wizard in his smithy, in his farms, in his fields. But here? No. He was the wrong man to send. He's so rough and indelicate. He's bound to ruin the whole thing. Mother Kali, if I never get her, my hands will be a gift to you. Lord Rudra, I'll sacrifice my head to you. I swear.
Bird, it's an eagle. This is a lion, a tiger. This is a lotus, a wheel, and this, God alone knows what this is. And the next, a horse. A rhinoceros, another lion, another lotus, another wheel. Where the hell is that stupid two-headed bird? What was the design? I couldn't make out. There it is. Almost gave me the slip. A proper double-headed bird. But it's so tiny you can't find it unless you are willing to tear your eyes staring at it. Now, whose house would this be? No one in sight? Naturally, why would anybody come out here in this hot sun? Better ask the people in the house. I give up, Devdutt. I surrender to your judgment. I had never thought anyone could be more beautiful than that wench Ragini who had Ramba in our village too. But this one, You are right. She is Shakuntala, Yakshini, Indumati, Urvashi, all rolled into one.
You knocked, didn't you?
Yes.
Then why are you keeping at me? What do you want?
I just wanted to find out whose house this was.
Whose house do you want?
This one.
I see. Then who do you want here?
The master?
Do you know him?
No.
Have you met him?
No.
Have you seen him?
No.
So you haven't met him, seen him, or known him? What do you want with him?
She is quite right. What have I to do with him? I only want to find out his name.
Are you sure you wanted this house?
No, I'm sure this is the one.
Are you alright here?
Yes, I think so.
How about your eyes? Do they work properly?
Yes.
How many?
4.
Correct. So there's nothing wrong with your eyes. As for other things, I'll have to take you on trust. Well then, if you're sure you wanted this house, why were you peering in all those doors and what were you mumbling at your
How
bed?
did you know?
I'm quite safe and I've got good eyes.
Oh, I suppose you were watching from the terrace.
Listen, you'd better be careful. We have any number of thefts in the street and people are suspicious. Last night, there was a man standing there for nearly 2 hours without moving. And today, you have turned up. It's just after I saw you. Anyone else would have taken to the police. Where? Now tell me, what are you doing here?
I can't tell you.
Really? Who will you tell it to?
Your father?
Do you want my father or do you want the master of this house?
Aren't they the same?
Listen, my father could be a servant in this house, or the master of this house could be my father's servant. My father could be master's father, brother-in-law, cousin, grandfather, or uncle. Will you agree?
Yes.
Right. Then we'll start again. Whom should I call?
Your father?
And if he's not it,
Anyone else?
which anyone?
Perhaps your brother?
Do you know him?
No.
Have you met him?
No.
Do you know his name?
Please call your father or master or both, or if they are the same, anyone. Please call someone.
No, that won't do.
No one in sight. Still I have to find out her name. Devdas must be in pain, and if I go back now, he will never forgive me. Madam, I have some very important work. I touch your feet.
You will? Really? Do you know? I've touched everyone's feet in this house sometime or the other. But no one's ever touched mine. You will?
I am finished. Dead. Decimated. Powdered to dust. Powdered to tiny specks of flour. My mother?
I knew it. I knew you wouldn't touch my feet. One can't even trust strangers anymore. All right, my dear son. I open the door. So consider me the doorkeeper. What news?
All right. You have no doubt heard of the revered Brahmin Vidyasagar.
It's possible.
In which case, you must also have heard of Devdutt, his only son, a poet, a pandit. Knows the Vedas backwards, writes the grandest poetry ever, height 5 feet 7 inches, long dark hair, delicate fair face,
Wait a minute. What's he to you?
friend, greatest in the world. But the main question now is, what's he going to be to you?
Mother!
Devdutt, my friend, let me confess to you that I am feeling uneasy. You are a gentle soul. You can't bear a bitter word or an evil thought. But this one, she is as fast as lightning and as sharp. She is not meant for the likes of you. What she needs is a man of steel. But what can one do now? You won't ever listen to me. And I can't withdraw now. I'll have to talk to her family.
Son of the... Devdutt is a son of revered Brahmin Vidyasagar. In his house, the very floor is swept by the goddess of learning. Padmini is the daughter of the leading merchant in Dharampur. In her house, they have the goddess of wealth for a maid. What could then possibly stand in the way of bringing the two families together? Padmini became the better half of Devdutt and settled in his house. Nor did Devdutt ever forget his debt to Kapil. The old friendship flourished as before. Devdutt, Padmini, Kapil. To the admiring citizens of Dharampur, Ram, Sita, Lakshman.
Why is it so late? He should have been here more than an hour ago.
Have you tried to close properly?
The first thing in the morning.
And the mattresses we may have sleep out in open. And it's quite chilly today. We need at least 2 hours.
Don't worry, the servant's done all that.
And your shawl and some warm clothes.
What's happened to you today? At other times you're so full of your books, you even forget to wash your hands after me. But today, you have been going on and on and on all morning.
But Minnie, I've told you 10 times already. I don't like the idea of this trip. You should rest, not face as hazards. The cart will probably shake like an earthquake. And it's dangerous in your condition. But you won't listen.
My condition? What's happened to me? To listen to you, one would think I'm the first woman in this world to become pregnant. I only have to stumble and you act as it's all finished and gone.
For God's sake, will you stop it?
Sorry, I won't say such things again.
You have no sense of what not to say. So long as you can chat up and run around like a child.
Where's Kapil?
And drool on Kapil all
What
day.
do you mean?
What else should I say? The other day I wanted to read a play of Bhasas to you. Sure enough, Kapil drops in.
Oh, that's biting you still, is it? But why are you blaming me? He was your friend even before you married me, wasn't he? He used to drop in every day even then.
But shouldn't he realize I'm a married man now? He just can't go on as before.
Don't blame him. It's my fault. He learned a bit of poetry from you and I thought that he might enjoy Bhasa. So I asked him to come. He didn't want to.
I know that.
Had I realized you would get so upset, I wouldn't have.
I'm not upset, Padmini. Kapil isn't merely a friend. He's like my brother. One has to collect merit in 7 lives to get a friend like him. But is it wrong for me to read to you alone? Or to spend a couple of days with you, with no one else around? Of course, once he comes in, there wasn't the slightest chance of any reading. And you had to hop around him twittering, Kapil, Kapil every minute.
You aren't jealous of him, are you?
Me? Jealous of Kapil? Why do you have to twist everything I say?
Don't sulk now. I was just trying to be funny. Really, you have no sense of humor.
It's humor for you, but burns my insides.
Oh, shut up. Don't know how liberal and large-hearted you are. You are the sort to get jealous. If I fall into a well tomorrow, you won't even miss me until my bloated corpse floats up.
Padmini!
Sorry, I forgot. I slapped myself on the cheeks. Is that alright? The trouble is, I grew up saying all these awful things. And it's become a habit now. But you're so fragile. I don't know how you're going to go through life wrapped in silk like this. You're still a baby.
I see.
Look now, you got annoyed about Kapil. But why? You are my saffron, my marriage thread, my dating. Why should you feel upset? I like making fun of Kapil. He's such an innocent. Looks a proper devil. But the way he blushes and giggles and turns red, he might have been a bride.
Well, this bride did blush.
No one taught this bride to blush. But now, I'm learning from that yokel.
Can't she really see that? Or is she deliberately playing a game with him? Kapil was never the sort to blush. But now, he only has to see her and begins to wag his tail. Sits upon his hind legs as though he were afraid to let her words fall to the ground. Padmini, Kapil isn't used to women. The only woman he has known in his life is his mother.
You mean it's dangerous to be with him? The way you talk, one could never imagine he was a best friend.
Why do you have to twist everything I say?
Now what did I say? Listen, if you really don't want to go to Ujjain today, let's not. When Kapil comes, tell him I'm in.
But you will be disappointed.
Me? Of course not. We'll do as you like. Remember what the priest said? I'm your half now. The better half. We can go to Ujjain some other time. In another couple of days, there is this big Ujjain fair. We can go there, just the 2 of us. We'll cancel today's trip, alright?
Now if you aren't going to be disappointed, then truly what's that I'd like most? Not because I'm jealous of Kapil. No, I am not. I know he has a heart of gold. But this is is your first baby.
What do you mean first? How many can I have in 6 months? No. I won't say a word.
Bad upbringing, that's what it is. I didn't like the idea of you going so far in cart present condition, that's all.
Ordinarily, I would have replied at a boom of steel, but I won't in the present condition. Alright, if you're happy, so am I.
Yes, we'll spend all day by ourselves. The servants are going home anyway. They can come back tomorrow. But for today, only you and me.
Yes, Kapila, you tell him.
I am late, ain't I? But what could I do? That cartman had kept the cart ready, but the moment I looked at it, I knew that one of the oxen was no good. I asked him to change it. We won't reach Ujjain for another fortnight in that one, but he started making a scene. But I stood my ground, so he had to fetch a new one. These cart hires are a menace. If ours hadn't gone to Chitrapur that day...
Kapil, we have to call up today's trip. You see, Padmini is not well.
Oh yes. Well, in that case, I'll return the cart then.
Yes.
Or he may charge us for the day. So it's off. What am I to do for the rest of the day? What am I to do for the rest of the week? Why does it feel as though this whole world has been wiped out for a whole week? Why this emptiness? Kapil, get a tight hold of yourself. You're slipping, boy. Control yourself. Go back now. Don't come here again for a week. Devdutt is bound to get angry. Sister-in-law will get annoyed. But don't come. Well then, I'll start.
Kapil, why don't you sit for a while?
No. We may upset sister-in-law more than with our noise.
That's true. So come again.
Yes, I will.
Why are you standing there? When are we going to start? We're already late.
But you aren't well.
Me? What's wrong with me? I had a headache this morning, but a layer of ginger paste took care of that. Why should we cancel it for a little thing like that?
No, really, if you have a headache.
I don't have a headache now.
But Padmini?
Kapil, put those bundles out in the car. The servant will bring the rest. Be quick, or else I put them in myself. Don't get annoyed. Poor boy. He looks so lost and disappointed. I couldn't bear to see it. He has been running for us this whole week.
There's the box in which I kept my books.
You are an angel. I knew you wouldn't mind. I'll bring it. It's quite light.
And my disappointment? Does that mean nothing to you? Don't! You don't take it! I will.
Has passed. The sun rests its head on the fortunate lady's flower, and the head is bidding goodbye to the heart.
The hands don't even move. But the oxen seem to know exactly where to go. Shall we stop you for a while? We have been sitting in this cart for I don't know how long, and my legs feel like bits of wood.
Right. Ho!
What a terrible road! Nothing but stones and rocks. What didn't feel a thing in this car? You drove it so gently, almost very slow. I remember when Devdutt took me out in a car. That was soon after marriage. I insisted on being shown the lake outside the city. So we started, just the two of us. And Devdutt driving. Against my advice, I must say. And we didn't even cross the city gates. The oxen took everything except the road. He only had to pull to the left and hope they would rush to the right. I've never laughed so much in my life. But of course, we got very angry and we had to go back home straight. Kapil,
Yes?
what's that glorious tree over there that was covered with flowers?
Oh, that's the fortunate lady's tree. It means a married woman.
I know, but why do they call it so?
Wait, I'll get you a flower, then you will see.
How he climbs like a tree. Before I could even say yes, he had taken his shirt off, pulled up and swung up the branch. And what a material shape! Like an ocean with muscles rippling across it. And then that small feminine waist which looks so helpless.
She had so much to talk about already. She couldn't wait for a breath. Now, not a word.
He is like a celestial being, reborn as a hunter. How his body sways, his limbs curve. It's like a dance almost.
And why should I blame her? It's his strong body, his manly muscles. And to think that I had never ever noticed them. I was an innocent, an absolute baby.
No woman could resist him.
No woman could resist. And what does it matter if she is a married woman? All these years, I looked only pleading in his eyes, stretching out its arms, begging for a favor, but never looked in her eyes. And when I did, I took the whites of her eyes for their real depths. Only now I see the depths. I see the flames leaping out from those depths. Now, so late. Don't turn away, Devdutt. Look. Look at those yellow-purple flames. Look how she's pouring her soul in his mold. Let your guts burn out. Let your lungs turn to ash. But don't turn away. Don't scream. Strangle your agony. Look deep into these eyes until those peacock flames burn out blindness in you. Don't be a coward, Ram.
How long can one go on like this? How long, how long, how long? If Devdutt notices. There he comes. All I wanted was one flower and he's brought a heap.
Here you are, the fortunate lady's flowers.
And why a fortune lady, pray?
Because it has all the marks of marriage a woman puts on, like the yellow on the petals. Then this red round patch at the bottom of the petals, like on your foreheads. Then this thin saffron line, like in the parting of your hair. Oh, here it is. This row of black dots, like a necklace of black beads.
What imagination! You should put it in poetry. It's good for us, Cindy.
Shall we go? It's quite late.
Very safe. I've been sitting in that car for I don't know how long. I didn't know the road to Ujjain was so enchanting.
Isn't it? The others take a longer route, but I prefer this one. This is a more wooded area, so very few come here this way.
I wouldn't have minded, even if it were 15 miles longer. It's like a garden.
Isn't it? Look there. Do you see it? That's the river Bhargavi. The poet Vyas used to have a hermitage on its banks. There's a temple of Rudra there now.
A temple of Rudra?
Yes, it's beautiful. And there, beyond those hills, is the temple of Kali. It was very prosperous once, but now it's quite dilapidated. Yes, that's old too, but not half as ruined as the Kali temple. We could go and have a look if you like.
Yes, let's.
Why don't you go and see the Kali temple first?
No, I have seen it once. It's terrible. Bats, snakes, all sorts of poisonous insects, and not even proper roads. We could go to the Rudra temple though. It's nearer.
Come on, let's go.
No, you two go. I won't come.
And you?
I'll stay here and watch the cart.
But there's no fear of thieves here, or else I would stay.
No, you two go. I'm also a little tired.
He has started it again. Another tantrum. Let him. What do I care? Come, Kapil, we'll go.
But in your condition,
Why are you two hounding me with this condition? If you don't want to come, say so. Don't make excuses.
Devdutt, it's not very far. You come too.
I've told you to go. Don't force me.
Let's not go. I don't want the two of you to suffer for my sake.
Go.
Come. We'll be back soon.
Goodbye, Kapil. Goodbye, Padmini. May Lord Rudra bless you. You are two pieces of my heart. May you live happily together. I shall find my happiness in them. Give me courage, Lord Rudra. Give me courage, Father. I am already trembling. I hadn't thought I would be so afraid. Give me courage, Father. Strengthen me.
Than me.
You've cut off your head. You've cut off your head. Oh my dear friend, what have you done? Were you so angry with me? Did you feel such contempt for me? Such abhorrence? And in your anger, you forgot that I was ready to die for you? If you had asked me to jump into fire, you despise me so much that you couldn't even ask me that. I did wrong. But I didn't have the intelligence to know what else I should have done. I couldn't think. And so you have pushed me away? No, Devdutt. I can't live without you. I can't breathe without you, my friend, my brother, my father. You spoiled me in this world. Accept me as your brother, at least in the next. Here, Devdutt, here I come. As always, I follow in your path.
Now this couple has disappeared too. He will still be searching for him. That's impossible. Devdutt's too weak to have gone far. They must have met. Perhaps they are sitting now, chanting as in the old days. For once no bother of a wife around. No. More likely, Devdutt's sulking. He's probably tearing poor couple to shreds by being silent and grumpy. Yes, That would be more like him. It's almost dark. And they are in back. Shameless men to leave me alone like this here? No, it's no use sitting any longer. I'd better go and look for them. If I die of a snake bite on the way, so much the better for them. Devdutt isn't here either. What should I do now at this time of night alone? What's that? Some wild beast? A wolf? It's right outside. What should I do if it comes in?